Hi, I'm Mackenzie Nicole Greenwood, and I really like the sound of my own voice. And I hope you do too, because I've been doing some audio work that I hope you'll find some value in. Um, at the end of last year, right before New Year's, I finished working on the audiobook production of Writing from the Inside Out by Stephen Lloyd Webber. Writing from the inside out, the practice of free-form writing, isn't just about writing or even about practice. It's about art and life and stewardship of energy. It's about being part of the universal flow, and remaining the deathless witness as well as the active participant. If you practice yoga, if you practice writing, if you are an artist, or if you want to be or intend to create well and live authentically, permaculturalists and other systems thinkers who are interested in art might also find a really compelling model and both model and product of a complex creative process that's difficult to quantify, measure, and model. Rhythmic, perhaps, a way to get the beat of the system that you have difficulty measuring. Stephen Weber took this goal he had of putting together 20 book length projects in 1 year. And he took one of those projects and made it a self referential description of the process he used to put all of those projects together. What I ended up with instead was a model to follow while I crafted my own process of creating audiobooks. Producing another example of what you might get out of following this sort of pattern, this sort of description. You might find something playful, something fun, something a little bit different than what you expected at the beginning, and not allowing the final product to sound like what you thought it was going to sound like. To let yourself play with it and go a little bit left and a little bit right, just to find that nice little center path. When I no longer cling to anything else, I still have myself, as I really am. When the mind and body are not insisting on separation, doing what it is my will to do becomes easier. The way I phrase things creates effects in the world within me. Words are the sense elements of the mind. Therefore, it is best that practice is pointed to the place from which metaphors come. Stepping into the shoes of negative capability, I experience creativity and wonder. To achieve an outcome, I don't even need an agenda if I have the discipline of practice. I love that. Let me just say that last line one more time. To achieve an outcome, I don't even need an agenda if I have the discipline of practice. It's clear to me anyway that, well, Stephen reveres the spark of inspiration, that point of ignition, that he also highly values the smoldering of the images. He turns those phrases over like logs on a fire to expose the unexposed bits, to the transformative power of the flame, or turning them over like a table leg on a lathe. You know, you get the first rough cut. That's that moment of inspiration when you begin to see the image, and then as you turn it over and over and over, you get the smooth curves. If ideas are understood to have a life of their own, art and poetry are the ethical stewardship of those ideas. Learning how to use phrases like asanas for your mind, to stretch and sink into a possibly uncomfortable position mentally, that allows you to flow and be ready for whatever life demands of you. This is the at least twofold practice that Stephen describes within the book. First, to set the scene for ignition, he talks of dry kindling, to prepare yourself, your energies, and your environment in such a way as to set the scene for the creative act. And then second, to turn those phrases over until you get that big hot blaze, or that smooth, soft, polished table leg. Viewing myself as the steward of my energy, rather than the rightful permanent owner of my body, naturally gets me to let go of what isn't right for me at an energetic level. Once I both recognized and admitted that I wasn't following Stephen's advice while producing the audio version of his book, and that it was applicable, I changed my tactics a little bit. I re recorded a good chunk of what I had already begun and really tried to step into the spirit of the work. Sometimes it's when things are most hectic, when things are most overwhelming and least under control, that I really need to tenaciously stick with my practice. When I don't know what's coming next, to know that what comes next is practice. Inspirational, practical, relevant. I'm going to leave you guys with one final quote from the book before I head out. I am giving form to something durable, and so I'm patient, staying just beyond the edge of my expertise and always returning to what I love. Thank you. If you're interested in any more of what Stephen Lloyd Webber has to say, I definitely recommend checking out his website at stephenlloydwebber.com. That's Stephen with a PH, Lloyd with two L's, and Webber with two B's. I will put the link down below.